In news from the criminal courts, we learn of two men slapped with drug and firearm charges after being stopped by traffic police in two unrelated incidents, and one man charged with damaging a police vehicle following a naked rampage. The VIPD's Special Operations Bureau was conducting traffic enforcement operations on Lionel Pierreberry Scenic Drive on December 2nd when they noticed a burgundy Honda Accord driving without a front license plate. Officers pulled over the driver, Lee Victoria, and requested his driver's license, insurance, and registration. While Victoria was reaching for the documents, the officer noted a certificate with the words "Start Time Firearms" in the glove box. When asked whether he had a firearm, Victoria shook his head and said no, and told the officer that he did not have a license for one either, as he had not yet received it. When questioned about the missing license plate, Victoria told police that it had fallen off due to a previous auto collision and that it was in the trunk. The officer also asked about the scent of cannabis that was emanating from the vehicle. Victoria explained that he had been smoking at the beach earlier and that the smell of smoke was coming from the ashtray cup in the sedan's center console. The officer decided to search the vehicle due to the marijuana odor, but went to pat down Victoria first. While doing so, the officer felt an object on Victoria's right inner leg. Upon further inspection, the item turned out to be a black handgun holstered near Victoria's groin area. He was asked again if he had a license to carry in the USVI, and this time Victoria said that he had just gotten one. He was then arrested and placed in the police unit to await crime scene technicians who, when they arrived, identified the gun as a .40 caliber Glock 27 containing one cartridge in the chamber and a 13-round magazine with several additional cartridges inside. The serial number had been scratched off. Victoria then requested towing services so that his Accord could be transported to his house, but when police conducted an inventory of his personal items for safekeeping, they found another gun. This one was a black Springfield XD9 Mod 2 9mm handgun with a round in the chamber and a 16-round magazine. Officers also discovered 6 .420 caliber shotgun shells, drug paraphernalia, and several transparent plastic bags containing marijuana. Victoria was charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, possession of ammunition, possession of narcotics with intent to distribute, and possession of drug paraphernalia. In court on Monday, the 37-year-old defendant was allowed to post 10% of his $50,000 bail requirement to secure release into the care of a third-party custodian. Once released from custody, Victoria will be restricted to the St. Thomas and John district, must report to the probation office twice a week, and must remain gainfully employed. He is also prohibited from possessing a firearm, ammunition, or dangerous weapon while the matter is pending. Victoria's next court appearance is on December 23rd. Bernard Kennings Jr., age 44, also the driver of a Honda Accord, this one blue, also appeared in court on Monday. He is facing charges after failing to obey a stop sign. Police conducting traffic enforcement on St. Peter Mountain Road last Friday noticed Kennings' Accord failing to stop at a posted sign. They pulled him over and noticed the strong odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle, which had all its windows rolled down. When Kennings handed over his documentation, police noted that his license was expired. Further assessment revealed that the vehicle was unregistered and uninsured. Police asked him to step out of the car for a pat-down and informed him that the scent of marijuana was cause for a search. Kennings was asked if there was any illegal narcotics or firearm in the vehicle that he would like to declare, to which he replied yes to both. The firearm, Kennings said, was by the driver's side door. When police spotted the weapon after opening the door, the forensics department was immediately radioed and Kennings was placed under arrest. The forensics team collected a 9mm handgun with a filled 15-round magazine with no serial number. Police also found a plastic container appearing to contain marijuana, along with several small plastic baggies. Kennings was then charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm, possession of ammunition, and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Unlike Antonia before him, Kennings was required to post the full $50,000 bail and a suitable address before he could be released. Other standard bail conditions apply. On St. Croix, Andy Christian appeared before the criminal courts on Monday, accused of destroying police property. Christian's father had reportedly called police to tell them that his son had been running around the neighborhood for 3 days. On November 30th, a naked Christian reportedly went to his neighbor's home and flashed a light through the window. While officers were speaking with the father, Christian himself, again nude, ran out from the estate wing property while shouting, "Bow wow." One of the responding officers called a dispatch to ask for assistance from the mental health department, a request that was responded to by the director of environmental health, safety, and security. Meanwhile, Christian was still in the area, darting towards one of the officers, who kept moving backwards to prevent the naked man from entering her personal space. He noticed another officer trying to grab him and pulled away from her hand before trying to approach her, upon which she deployed her baton and advised Christian to keep still. A third officer menaced him with her taser before he quieted enough to be placed in handcuffs and transported to the 1F Louis Hospital to seek medical attention. While inside the police vehicle waiting to be seen by medics, a handcuffed Christian reportedly managed to rip out the roof padding of the vehicle. One of the officers also noted that he had in his mouth the rear camera that was strained on the vehicle's back seat. Christian spat out the camera into an officer's hand and then threw himself on the ground. The EHSS director and 3 police officers each grabbed one of Christian's limbs to take him into the facility. Ultimately, Christian was arrested and charged with the destruction of property. In court on Monday, a judge ruled that he be allowed to post 10% of his $1,000 bail requirement to secure his release into the care of a third-party custodian. He will then be placed on 24-hour house arrest, but will not be required to wear an electronic monitor.